I'm at Honeycutt from Kublai Kahn, and this is Antihero Online.
All right, so first things first, man. This is the last cross-country run of Van's Warped Tour. How are you guys kind of holding up to the demand that Warped Tour has on you guys?
To be completely honest, it's really, really hard. Like, this is probably the toughest tour that we've ever done, just for the sheer fact that it's such a strict grind. You know what I mean? We don't have a crew. We don't have people that really do. We do all our own stuff. Mm-hmm. We're doing it in a van too, on top of all of that. So, I mean, it's some of those things, like, I try my best not to complain or feel bad about anything that's happening, because at least we're on the tour, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if I was, to say that it's not kind of tough, I'd be lying. So it definitely does have its effects. But the way we're all doing it is just like, keep the momentum going, and then once we're home, you can rest. Yeah. While we're out here, just live it up. You know what I mean?
And what type of void do you think that it's going to leave in the industry when Warped Tour isn't around anymore? For a lot of people, this is their first times experiencing some of these new bands that are coming up, and some bands that have been in the industry like yourselves for a while.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to have an effect, because, I mean, if you think about it, this has been around so long, and it's always been a place that, people can come to for not just heavy music, but just a lot of types of underground music, and that really is a rarity now. You can't really find any festivals that, I mean, this is the last of its kind, basically. So honestly, I really don't know what the effects will be. I think that we'll definitely see some, but it's kind of hard to tell right now, because, like, I never thought I would have to imagine, I guess, touring without there being a Warped Tour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're all kind of waiting to see what happens, I guess.
And one of the things that I've been asking everybody is, do you think this is going to lead to more package tours? The friendships and bonds that you've made with these bands on this year's Warped Tour, do you think it's going to get you guys together to hit the road during the summer months next year?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, we've already made friends with bands, and we've already gotten, like, actually submitted for offers with bands that we just became friends with on this tour and stuff like that. And it's one of those things, like, there's always going to be, as long as people still come out for live music, they're going to want something, to see. So it's like, I imagine that the summer is probably going to be a lot more plentiful with smaller tours, because if you think about it, Warped Tour is such a massive thing that it kind of had a monopoly over the areas that it was in, you know what I mean? So smaller tours, depending on the genre, would probably struggle a lot having to compete with Warped. But if Warped isn't in the picture, then I think it'll definitely kind of open the water and open the territory to a lot of new different, just tours and stuff like that. And I hope a lot of it's like this too, very mixed genre tours. So.
And speaking of the mixed genres, you guys are probably one of the heaviest bands that are on the bill playing Warped Tour. What type of response have you been getting from the fans?
It's been really good. There's been it's a lot of people that I feel like honestly would have never listened to us unless we were literally right in front of them. But we still have a lot of the same aspects of our live shows. Like, I mean, there's still, like, fights. We had a fight yesterday. Mountain View, they counted 10 fights. Like, it still is. It brings that aggressive underground vibe that people get aggressive to, but to a much broader audience. You know what I'm saying? And we've had an extremely good reception. I was kind of unsure, because there was basically us in Harm's Way with the two bands that, like, we literally write our music, for the energy and the movement and stuff like that, as far as, like, underground, heavy music. So I was kind of wondering how that was going to be, as far as, like, what response we would have, just because this is a completely different crowd than we're used to, because, there's so many, more people and junk like that. But I think it went fine,
And you're talking about that underground and writing to the crowds. Are you guys working on any new music coming up anytime soon?
Oh, yeah, we're working on it. We're not going to record probably for another, 6 months, but we've started writing and stuff like that. It's kind of tough because we all live in different states and shit. Yeah. But, yeah, it's coming together. It'll just take some time for sure,
And where are you guys wanting to go musically with this next record and everything that you're kind of cohesively putting together?
You talking about, like just stylistically?
Yeah, stylistically.
I really don't know. I mean, pretty much, like, everything we've ever written is just kind of a beefed up version of what we wrote before. Like, we're by no means reinventing the wheel. We're just playing heavy music and shit like that. We have, I feel like, found our sound. Yeah. So it's really good. But I mean, like, as far as our band, like, we did a 3-day little thing in Texas where we were direct support for Hatebreed, and that was kind of a turning point for us because like Hatebreed's fans showed out, you know, just in a multitude. There was tons of them, and when we played, they were extremely receptive to our music. So it's kind of like we want to, you know, try and push in different directions and maybe like try and do larger stuff or stuff that isn't just the same underground circuits for a lot of the same people. I feel like we've done mixed genre tours. Sometimes it fails, like sometimes like it helps. We do gain some fans from it, but I do want to kind of hit like that broader crowd of just like metal. You know what I mean? Rather than just trying to stay completely underground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's important for the growth of the band as well, too. And when you guys are kind of signing up for these shows and for these festivals, is that one of the things that you're looking at as the opportunity to kind of reach this broader spectrum of things?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's literally like, that's the whole reason that, besides the fact that, you know, it would of course be awesome to do Warped Tour, we took it because we were like, this is probably the best opportunity we can get to absorb new fans. That like I said, because there's a lot of kids that go to Warped, that is their tour that they go to. That's their excitement. They look forward to every song. They may not necessarily go to all like the bars or the VFW shows or like the smaller venues in their area and, you know, every weekend. So for them to come out, it's like what they see and that time that they're allotted is what they get.
Yeah.
So it's like we're trying to just literally just like snatch everybody up by their neck as fast as we can and try and get them on our team. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much everything that I got for you, man. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you would like to add?
I'm just glad to be here, man. Glad we're doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate it.